Veterans Military. Today we're going to be talking about how to get major depressive disorder service connected and or increased on a direct or secondary basis. Hey, you like this type of content? As always, like, share, subscribe, comment down below your specific VA disability journey when it comes to mental health, and definitely y'all want to get service connected for anything mental health before any of these proposed changes to the VA disability rating occur. Issues in service, you got complaints, you got well-documented medical history, you just need a diagnosis. Now, if you didn't get a diagnosis in service for any reason, hey, you got your complaints, you got your history, all you need to do is go find a competent psychiatrist, psychologist, or a doctor that can evaluate and diagnose you. Hey, and in that evaluation, they're going to be reviewing your service treatment record. Moving forward, now you got a diagnosis. Now you're going to submit that claim. Cool, Gucci. Just backtrack a little bit. For some veterans who are already service connected for disabilities, it's easy to get service connected for major depressive disorder if you're having any disabilities that has taken you from doing some of your passions. Like if you got 40% for your back, obviously, you got some ankylosis, you got some things going on that's not going to allow you to do things like, if you got kids, pick your kids up as often, carry them around. You can't go out on walks like that anymore for long periods. You definitely can't sit for long periods of time. Or if you got sleep apnea. If you got sleep apnea, then obviously you can't just chill in your bed with your spouse anymore. You got to hook this CPAP machine up to you, sound like Darth Vader at night. And it's depressing. It's depressing that you just can't roll over and kiss your spouse. No, you got the mask on. I mean, you can you can peck at them, maybe take the mask off and then reapply it. So it's an inconvenience. It causes depression, as well as all the secondary effects as well. But the main thing is veterans need to start getting into medical. And I'll always say that on this page because veterans don't go to medical. They just want to take the easy route. Just go find a doctor, pay $500 to $5,000 for a DBQ Nexus letter, and they think that's going to be the end-all be-all for that claim, but they get denied. And then they go back to that doctor, see if they can do a rebuttal Nexus letter, and then they get denied again. Why? Why is that? Mainly due to insufficient medical history. It's like, okay, you had 1 or 2 complaints in service, 3 or 4 years passed, and you just went out to get a diagnosis and a DBQ, but you haven't gone in to seek treatment. You haven't seen a psychiatrist. You haven't seen a therapist. You haven't built this medical evidence. And if you are seeing one of those, a therapist or a psychiatrist, they're not writing your notes down. They're not writing down symptomology. They're not jotting down impacts to your personal life, impacts to your occupational life. They're not doing that. And more than likely, your personal statement's not filling in all that gray area. So the VA takes into consideration when rendering a VA rating for what? Mental health, mainly for major depressive disorder. Easy because veterans are 5 times higher to have PTSD and depression and anxiety more than the regular person. So between deployment history, between transitioning out of the military, between witnessing traumatic events while in service, it may not cause PTSD, but it could cause you to be depressed. You never know what happens. It just takes you away. Maybe you've had a friend taken away from you as well. You may not have witnessed it in person, but you was deployed with this veteran, with this fellow military member, veteran. And one day they're there, you're playing with them, you're playing spades, playing dominoes, whatever the case may be, you're hanging out with them on a daily basis. But then the next day, hey, something tragic happens while deployed, especially in these combat areas. Quick recap. You're definitely going to need a diagnosis. You go out, you get your diagnosis, you get your treatment. After that, you're going to need symptomology, because symptomology is what the VA is going to place you in when it comes to 0 to 100% for mental health. After that, they're going to be looking for recordings of social and occupational impairments. These are impacts. How do you do this? You do this by developing a personal statement from yourself, from your spouse, friends, family. That'll satisfy that social impairment. When it comes to occupational impairment, you definitely want to get a coworker. Supervisor is always good. I utilize supervisors, and it was Gucci gang. You know what I'm talking about? If you're going to school, utilize the professor. fellow classmates. That's considered occupational as well as a social type of environment. You want to make sure that this is recorded. Whenever you talk to your therapist, your psychiatrist, you got to make it a point to talk about this to them. Because if you don't, they're not going to write it down. They're not going to record it. And if you do talk to them about this and they're not recording it, you need to be like, hey, dog, I don't know what you need to do. Record this with a microphone. Record on your phone. Get a separate device. Record this session and highlight. Talk about symptoms. Have a framework for this discussion. Let's not just have me coming in to this my routine exam. My routine scheduled meetings with you, once a week, twice a week, bi-weekly, whatever the case may be, and you're not recording anything down. Like, yes, I'm going to be turning around utilizing this for my VA disability claim. However, it shouldn't be a reason why you're not writing it down, because if you're trying to help me mentally get better, you need to be recording a history of those issues that I've been dealing with, so it's not a repeat occurrence, if that makes sense. As well as they should be recording everything down to continuously modify your treatment plan to get you in a better mental state. At that point, you should have a good strong VA disability claim. You shouldn't need to go out and pay $400,000 for a nexus letter that's still going to get you denied on that claim, on the appeal, higher level review, and now you're waiting years for a legacy appeal. Let's not take that route. That's long, stressful, adding to the depression, anxiety. The VA claims process is not easy. I mean, it's not a walk in the park. Even for the most experienced and the most knowledgeable veteran who understands the process, it's still stressful. It's still depressing to get that decision letter in the mail saying denied. For what reason? Hey, I did everything that I was supposed to do. And in some of those cases, you might need an attorney. You might need a lawyer. You might need someone with a little bit more salt, with a bigger hammer to go at back, to go to back for you when it comes to getting these benefits. Because at the end of the day, it's only about 30% of veterans receiving benefits, receiving compensation. The other, 70%, either they don't know about compensation, they don't care about compensation. After that, you go to the CMP exam. I will recommend all veterans take in everything you submitted for that individual claim. A DBQ if you got one. If not, take a blank one in. Because the mental health CMP exam, the DBQ, Disability Benefits Questionnaire, is at least 7+ pages. You don't want to be waiting in that waiting room longer than you were talking to that doctor, talking to the examiner, writing down your stuff. Even if they say, I reviewed your record. Okay, well, there's still 8 pages worth of questions you need to ask me. And we need to get this right, because if it's your first time claiming it, you definitely want to get it right. Shoot for the stars, but you definitely want to get service connected on that first time. You could always refuse, or you don't agree with that VA rating, and hopefully the VA calls you back in or just reevaluates your medical evidence for an increase within a year of that claim finalizing, whether it was granted at a 0 or 30% or denied. You got time to put in a supplemental or request an increase or disagree with that VA rating. You don't have to accept the rating that they're giving you. Definitely be grateful that you got service connected. But now, okay, well, I know my medical evidence supports 50%, 70%. Why are you just giving me 30% to just shut me up? Be happy? I got 30%? No, I don't want that 50% pay, baby. You know what I'm talking about? It's a lot of back and forth. I know when I was in the claims process, it was back and forth. And I actually almost, almost choked out my examiner, because he tried to tell me 30% was the highest he's seen for that. So that was all he was going to give me. I was like, oh no, motherfucker, hell no. I came in here for an increase. I submitted you fucking all these goddamn documents, like 45 pages worth of medical evidence. There ain't no way in hell I'm just walking in here and you're telling me 30% is the highest I'm getting. Nah, dog. Nah, we about to get detailed with it, baby. Open up my thing. And he was having issues opening my file, but not to worry, I got everything that I submitted for this claim right here in person. So it's about to be even longer if you can't find that file. So hey, y'all like this type of content, let your boy know. When it comes to secondaries, same thing. You just gotta mainly show causation. How is tinnitus causing depression? How is your back pain causing depression? How is sleep apnea causing depression. Hey, it's a lot of clickbait out there. It's sad to see veterans getting fooled and getting tricked, thinking that something is going to benefit them in the long run. It's really not. But hey, until next time, y'all got any comments? Comment down below. But until next time, y'all know fucking time. This Debo out.